Jacob was a skid. Jacob was 18 years old. Jacob failed the 12th grade probably a million times. Jacob had a really tall black mohawk that was held together by numerous packages of Knox gelatin. Jacob always wore a studded denim vest with a black DOA patch on the back. Jacob was kind of always DOA himself. He was always in trouble with the police, with his parents, with his schoolmates, or with his friends, and he thrived on this trouble. He'd wear black lipstick to school and try to kiss the jocks. Jacob was always asking to get beat up. He was a martyr to the skids, and I'm pretty sure he thought he was a martyr to humankind. But the truth is, even though there were parts of me that admired him, that respected his nature to piss off authority, to be true to himself and be fearless, there were even parts that found the black lipstick to be sexy. Jacob was just kind of an idiot.
"Were you in love with him?"
Dr. Friedman asked, so casually, as if the topic of love was as important as whether I preferred chocolate ice cream or vanilla. "No," I said adamantly. That was the truth. I barely knew Jacob. Like I said, I admired him a bit, and when he talked to me, at first anyway, I would get giddy about it. But I got giddy when any guy looked my way. It was so easy to overlook the fat girl.
"But you liked him enough?"
I guess. I shrugged. I liked him enough when it was from afar. And I guess I liked him enough the first time he really talked to me, away from his friends and the rest of the skids. I was walking home from the bus stop one day. Normally I would have taken my car to school, but my parents had confiscated it from me. Something to do with drugs, I don't know. Anyway, I was walking home, listening to my MP3 player, when a tall, spiky shadow appeared beside me. It was long because the nights were longer then, and it was just getting dark enough to put me on my guard. I could tell the person was speaking to me, but I couldn't hear them above the music. I don't know why people have to talk to you when you've got headphones on. I mean, come on. Finally, I looked over and saw it was Jacob. I stopped, surprised, and pulled out my earphones. He was dressed as he always was, a true skid.
"What are you listening to?"
he asked. "Alice in Chains, Music Box," I replied rather proudly, thinking he might approve. "They're all right. I mean, they were all right. Kind of a shame about Lane, though. That fucker is irreplaceable. But he was too smart for the band anyway." I wasn't sure what was so smart about Lane, considering he died because of drugs, but I hadn't been too smart either. Then I noticed Jacob's wrists. They were wrapped in thick bandages.
"You said Jacob had tried to kill himself,"
the shrink asked me, his words cutting through my memory. "That's what they said. Everyone at school," I told him. Earlier that week, there were rumors that Jacob had killed himself. Killed himself over some girl. Some even say he burned himself in a car, lit the fucking car on fire. And I never saw Jacob at all that week, so I believed it. But then there was no news of a funeral or anything, no news anywhere, really, so I started to think it was just a rumor. One probably started by himself, another martyr cry or something. He'd often disappear from school for even weeks at a time.
"But the wrists told you otherwise."
Well, duh. But even though I had proof in front of me that Jacob had tried to commit suicide, I didn't want to bring it up with him. It seemed in bad taste, and even though I liked that he was speaking to me, there was something about him that had me a bit on edge. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that it was getting dark and I was walking alone with only my school books to protect me. Maybe it was the fact that he seemed a bit on edge himself, more so than usual. Either way, it was enough that I thought I should start taking self-defense classes one day.
"And then what happened, Perry?"
I shrugged. He walked me home. We talked a bit.
"What about?"
That day, it was just music. He went on about Lane, then Sid Vicious, then some dude I had never heard of. Then he said goodbye to me about a few houses down from my house.
"Did you know he lived in the area?"
No, and I still don't think he does. I mean, he never did.
"You think he's still alive?"
I gave the doctor an odd look, confused. Where was he getting that information from? Of course he's still alive. Why wouldn't he be? I could tell the doctor wanted to say something else, but he stopped himself and said,
"What did you guys talk about the rest?"